Today we have James Marcou on with us. James, the current assistant coach for the Harvard Crimson. He's also from Long Island, undrafted and signed with the San Jose Sharks back in his playing days. 3 seasons at Umass Amherst before leaving on an entry-level contract with the San Jose Sharks. He is formerly a Umass Amherst assistant coach, University of Brown assistant coach, and Milton Academy assistant coach. Thanks for coming on with us today.
Thanks, Wonger. It's good to be on Zoom again. Got the Zoom thing down.
Yeah, you must be talking with a lot of different coaches, but also players during this time.
Yeah, it's new feather in the cap. I guess you learn how to use different avenues of technology. So see some familiar faces on Zoom. Whether it's you miss time from being at the office, but we get on Zoom. Every week. Get to see the guys.
Makes you even busier and got to do different things. Like you had mentioned before, that you're doing video meetings and stuff and clipping stuff just to get ready for what's to come.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good technology to learn. Use it during the season, kind of adapt, and maybe you're doing some video sessions on Zoom with your players throughout the year, and or you're just getting face to face with some recruits, and you're talking to them and keeping the connection going a little bit during these tough times.
Yeah. Video teaching these days and interaction, communication is all huge. Now that it's just kind of proving that with this whole pandemic, and it's also promoting a lot of people that do things online, not just through the hockey world, but workouts online for the general public, that when all the gyms were shut down. But it's teaching a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And the younger,
I made it to the virtual workouts yet on Zoom. But you hear some of these camps and stuff coming virtually. I'm not surprised. But
so do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more of the things maybe that I missed through that introduction? Who you are, where you grew up from, and some things.
From Long Island, like you said, and grew up with a younger brother and older sister. My brother and I played together for quite some time, whether it was in Waterloo, in the USHL, and you played with my brother pro a little bit, and
a couple of years
at Umass Amherst. So great experience playing with your brother, and he's coaching now, and I'm coaching now. So it's cool to see the development as players and now coaches, and we're always bouncing ideas off each other and always heckling each other. And it's good to have someone like that, close in age, 18 months younger. So he was a big part of our development together as a player, and now we're close and talking a lot as coaches. So we grew up together in Long Island, played in Waterloo, went from Waterloo to UMass Amherst, and then from UMass signed with the Sharks and played in the American League for a year and a half, and got injured before retiring due to some head and neck injuries.
Right. Yeah. And we can go into that as we keep continuing to talk here. So as a Harvard assistant coach and all your coaching experience, and even your playing experience in juniors in the USHL, can you explain a little bit to the followers about the recruiting process of even when you're playing, or even as when you're scouting?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I committed to, verbally committed to UMass when I was in, I think 10th grade, maybe really early on, one of the first players to commit for my age. And, looking back on it, it's kind of a crazy thing to think about choosing your college when you're that young. But I think you saw that trend continue on, and recruiting is, picked up a lot. And now with social media, it's a big thing for youth hockey and parents and players, and the junior hockey world is, it's still the same as when I was playing, but for as a coach at Harvard, you have to identify some players that fit into your team culture, and obviously at a place like Harvard, academics comes into the picture a little bit more heavily than some other programs, but that's half the battle with some of these players, is just making sure their academics are in check, and then obviously the hockey end's got to measure up as well. So just keeping relationships with coaches and players, and trying to make sure you're recruiting good kids, and identifying players that kind of fit your program and your culture.
Yeah. Question that I think some of the players and parents might have for you is, when you have a hockey team, but also you are Harvard University and well known around the world, is it harder for you to find players? Given on the academics is so much plays a bigger role. Do you think?
Yeah, I think our player pool is maybe smaller in the overall picture, but there's plenty of smart players out there. I think that for the most part, you have your niche in regions, and at a place like Harvard, you can go anywhere with and find players. So we don't really narrow in on too many. Obviously, proximity of Massachusetts and the school being in Massachusetts, we get a good look at those prep school players in New England. But I think we've had a lot of players from British Columbia and in Canada that have done very well, and from the brand of Harvard, it's good to have that, to go out and have no limitations on where you can get players from. So
yeah. Do you have any players out west this way that you can name, some player names on the team currently?
We just graduated, the Kerfoot, and I think him and his brother.
Yeah.
He came through the program, and we've had guys playing in the BCHL, and we scout that league, and the some of the midget prep teams out there that have good programs. But yeah, we've had some good Vancouver guys, and I think the good thing about Vancouver is it's and that the area of British Columbia, it's there's good education out there, so that's got to be a spot that we're paying attention to pretty closely. So
Right. Yeah. Another player that actually comes out to a lot of sessions is Marina McDonald. She plays on the women's team.